Hello, YouTube. So, I'm going to let you in on the ground floor of my second coronavirus stay at home, self quarantine, isolation project. First, I got a bunch of male and female goats and trained them to be my lawnmowers, my edible lawnmowers. Now I'm about to try something a little rougher. It's one thing to free range goats. I'm going to try what one of my friends did, and I'm going to try to free range some rabbits. New Zealand cross, Flemish giant, half Flemish giant, half New Zealand cross meat rabbits. They're a mixed breed of very large rabbits, so they should get about 12 or 15 pounds probably, because they're not full Flemish. Full Flemish can be 20 and 30 pounds. These are like a quarter Flemish, but New Zealand is their other breed, and that's a pretty big rabbit too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what my friend did. He released about 5 of these, some male, more female, on his land, and he dug a couple of holes for them, made a couple of different little rabbit sanctuaries for them, digging holes, putting buckets in the holes, filling it with soft grass bottoms like hay for the rabbits to lay on and hide in the holes. And he let the grass grow tall around those holes, and he put little water buckets around the holes. And he kind of had like a mixture between a wild rabbit in that he didn't have any cages or fencing or anything going on, and he didn't give them any feed, and a domestic rabbit because he handled them as children, and he provided them with water their whole lives because he's the one that brought them the water to refill their containers, so they came to know him as the water person, and they let him handle them and stuff. So he went from 5 or 6 rabbits free ranging on his land to about 150 of them within about 6 or 8 months. Now, in his area, he didn't have nearly as many falcons or coyotes or foxes or cats or any predator type animals as I do in my area. So I suspect that my little rabbits are going to get eaten by a falcon or a coyote or a fox or something of that nature long before they ever get of breeding age. But who knows? So I'm going to let you guys see them. This is going to be the beginning of the experiment. Right now I'm training them on eating grass and weeds. I had to check on one of them. He's trying to dig out of a plastic container. And I dug them some holes and stuff outside, but it got really windy and stormy today, so today's not the right day to release them. So I'm going to let you take a look at them. These are my mostly New Zealand, but quarter Flemish giant half-breed rabbits, newborns, relatively newborn. They look kind of big for newborns because of the breed that they are, as a large rabbit, but they were just born like a week ago or something. So I'm training them onto grass and weeds right now with a little bit of fruits like apples and whatnot, but I'm training them mostly on wild forage food, the kind that you would find outside on my 2 acres. I've dug them a bunch of holes outside and planted them some water containers around the holes. Dug some little holes with bowls that I fill with water every now and then, kind of like that glass bowl you see right there, but it's going to be in the ground a little bit. And I'm just going to provide them with water and let the rain provide them with water as well. And I'm not going to provide them with any food. And we're just going to see how they do free ranging, if they're as successful at it on my land as they are on my friend's. But he has a completely different environment with less predators. He has some predators, but he has a lot more land and a lot less predators. He has hundreds of acres. I only have 2 acres that I want to keep them on. But my neighbors keep their lawns well manicured and maintained and cut really, really low, so there's not really anything on them that a rabbit would want. And my land is the only one around here that I see wild rabbits, cottontails on, because I let my grass grow taller for my goats and other animals. And so it's a friendly habitat for rabbits, food-wise and shelter-wise. So they all congregate on my land, the wild ones. So I'm going to see if I can do the same thing with a larger breed meat rabbit. Kind of let them go feral. Let them, be as friendly as they're going to be with me providing them water, but not needing me for food, and then harvest them as need be for meat once they've bred. I'm not going to harvest any of these ones for meat. I'm going to let them grow fully mature and breed with each other and let their children breed, and then after a couple of generations, when they get populated in a couple of months, 6 or 8 months from now, when I have a bunch more, if these ones survive, then I'll start harvesting their children and grandchildren's generations for meat. So that's one of my coronavirus experiments to keep from going crazy. Actually, the quarantine doesn't bother me because I always quarantine. I'm a prepper. I live in the middle of nowhere. I live alone except for when I have my legal custody time of my children. So I work at home. I'm always quarantined, and I actually like being alone. I don't like being away from my children, but I don't mind being away from people in general. So I'm not really doing anything different during this corona quarantine stuff than I do any other day. I'm working on my prepping, working on my homesteading, working on my business. When my children are around, working on my parenting, working on providing for my children with homestead projects like this for meat and vegetables and fruit, things like that. So, but here's an idea for you guys. Get bunny rabbits to mow your lawn and then eat them. And dwarf goats. So, yep. Just wanted to give you guys an update because I haven't been updating videos as much because I've been on coronavirus quarantine with 3 of my 4 children, and they keep me very busy, make it a little bit harder for me to do YouTube video content. So they just left to go spend time with their mother. So I thought I'd shoot you a quick video. Enjoy.